So now we make the stabs. And what I recommend you do is you take one edge of the remaining foam triangle. We've been messing up here doing practicing and demonstrations of the film and stuff, but just take this here and just put it on the bottom edge, just flush with the bottom. Don't need to be totally exact. All right. And here on this side. Okay. And then we're going to measure. There's no real plans. It's all done by just measurements. And you want to measure 8 3/4 inches back. That's kind of the relevant. It's basically based on that size. Why I didn't make it 9 inches, I have no idea. Oh, I just want you to know your fractions, that's all. 8 3/4. It's kind of like right about there. And then we're just going to go up. And you'll notice that this is also going to be a little 8 3/4 inch action as well. Okay, so this is our basic stab shape. And we're going to put the lugs. So here's a picture from the book of what we're about to make, or you can look at the plans as well. In there on the plans, but I think the book one is a little clearer. And we're going to put lugs down here. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. So I will draw them in. Usually I use a template to do this. If you're building a lot of these, just go ahead and make a template. In fact, we're going to use one as a template for the other, because it's kind of a pain to measure all this stuff. I use a little janky bit that's on the foam. You know, these come out, doesn't matter, just put them right there. So the way this works is we are going to measure back 1.5 inches. Well, we're gonna cut 8 inches from the back here to the front. So measure 8 inches. So that is going to be here. Yep. I'm just cut that off. That does need to go away. So that's our blunt end. And then we're going to measure back 1.5 inches from there. So here's one. Sorry, it's upside down. But there we go. Lined up there. Go back 1.5 inches. Okay. And then we're going to go 4 inches. So that's going to be 1.5 plus 4, which is going to be 5.5. Oh, wait. Yeah, 5.5 inches. And then we're going to do another 1.5 inch section, which is going to be 7 inches. So there's your half. And the inch, that's going to be 7. Okay, so those are those sections. Then we want to draw a line that's 3/4 of an inch up. All right, from the bottom here, make sure that's nice and clear. Sorry, a little tape is making it a little harder to see. Get that laid down flat. Ah, there we go. And just measure up 3/4 of an inch. And there, 3/4 of an inch. Whenever you're doing double measurements like this, just do a third, just as a sanity check in case you made a big mistake on one of them. And then when you go across, if one of them's really off, you'll see it. So there they go. 3 of them line up pretty good. So again, this is not a super crucial dimension, but you can just draw that line. So there is your bottom of, so that's your 3/4 inch line. And then all we do is we're going to draw a line here. That's one of the tabs, the end of it. This is the start of one of the tabs. This is the end. It's marked off these 1.5 tabs. And then the last little bit, which I don't even bother measuring, is I cut out a little 1/4 inch section right here. And that's just the thickness of the foam. And I just eyeball that. So you can just see that that's what's going to happen there. All right, so let's cut them out. So pay attention here. You can easily cut too far. I probably should have done that a little differently. But if you know where the little divots are, then hopefully you won't make a mistake. So just cut straight. Cut straight. I do not use a ruler for this. It takes way too long. This one I'm just going to freehand. You can make these stabs all kinds of crazy shapes. It's really fun. Then this is the one where people tend to screw up. They go too far. So you're just going to go as far as the divot here and back. There we go, lost that. So that went away. Go as far as the divot. Go all the way back to the beginning of the back one. All right, and maybe a little further, but not much further. There you go, that's there. That's there. This comes out. All right, we're almost there, right? All we have to do is do the divots. And remember, we want something that is as wide as that foam, okay? You can use the foam to measure it off if you want to. But I got a pretty good eye for this because I've done it so many times. There we go. And then just a little bit of a nick on this side. And instead of trying to go all the way through, just go to the other side. You'll see where you cut the tape there, and out we go. That's the end of it. Okay, so you got your notch out. And you'll see how these notches work in a second. And we do one there, and then about a 1/4 inch there. You may have to adjust these. Get that part there, and that part there. Okay, so there we go. That's a stab ready to go. And if everybody makes the stabs the same way, if you have a group or something, then you can interchange them if you lose them. The airplane will fly fine with just one stab, but with 0 stabs, it's a little hard to do. Okay, so this tape that we laid down here, we're just going to use again in exact same fashion. And we just get this lined up right there, exactly the same. I just use the foam outline to help me get the next one out. Just use the first one as a template for the second. And being careful, a little bit to be shaved off here. I probably wouldn't even bother, but I just don't want you guys to think I'm slacking. So there we go. And here, do the same thing. Trim that off there. Good. And then I'm going to cut my verticals. 1 and 2, 3. Then I'm going to be really careful and cut my horizontals here. I'm even marking it. And this one, see it there. Let's go nice consistent width. That's going to be about 3/4 inch. There we go. We're almost there. The only thing left, we need to cut out the divots. Those are eyeballs as well. And there, and there, and there, and there. This one looks a little narrow, so I'm going to make it a little bigger. Okay, it's nice to have a sharp knife for this. This one's feeling a little dull right now. Use it for demonstration. And then this, get that there, and clear it. There we go. It goes there, and we clear it. Okay. And all the junk in it. Get that out. Kids might need help with this. This is kind of detailed stuff. And then test it. You can test it to make sure this foam will fit in there. All right, that fits. Good. That fits. That's good. Go on, test this one. That fits. It's good. Oh, all this stuff is kind of tight. Not so tight that you stress the frame. Okay, there you go. So those are 2 stabs. You might want to cut an extra one just in case you have enough material. Just barely, because I wouldn't mess with it. But anyway, that is, stabs are easy to make out of the material too. All right, now we're going to attach the stabs to the airframe, and it's real easy. This is all done by eyeball. So what I do, I'll draw the first one in, and then I'll show you how to do it the quick way. So so what's going to happen is that these stabs are going to slide in and slide back. That's how it works. And so what we want to do is we're going to be next to the deck right here. We're going to go move it up about 1/4 inch. We want it to kind of, these stabs to be right up flush to the hinge line, not over it, not interfering with the control horn, but just kind of flush up with it. Move it forward about 1/4 inch, and we can mark it. So I'll mark there, 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 there. All right, so you can see I sort of put some marks in sort of where these belong. Remember, everything has to be the thickness of foam. So I take this now, and I'm going to cut the length of that. Needs to be right next to the deck. That kind of helps it stay vertical. Cut there. A little too big is not a problem front to back, but you don't want it to be huge on the side to side because that keeps it up nice. So tend to be cutting a little bit on the conservative side on the width of this. This this dimension here. Just nice to have tight ones. Punch it out. All right, might need a little help on the other side. This one, see where it is. Cut it there. And the length. This length can be longer. That's really not going to hurt you at all. And then I just eyeball about the thickness of the foam. And you can see that's about 1/4 inch. If I'm comfortable with it, then trace it out with a fine thing. And be careful when you pull this guy out that you don't pull a bunch of the plastic off by not having a complete cut. And then you can see how this works. This is going to slide in there and there, and it slides back into the little spots here, and it will actually stay in there even when you're flying. Sometimes they fall off, but not very often. So it goes in, and pull it forward to get it out, so you can travel with it and not break it. Put your static stabilizers there so they don't get torn up when you're traveling. And you pull them out, put them in like that, and slide it back. All right, that's one of them. Let's do the other one. This one I'm going to do the way I do it, which is I just basically say, okay, I'm going to put this about 1/4 inch ahead of that. Rear, make sure it's nice and straight, not in the way of anything. See, it's kind of getting close to that push rod, so I don't want it too far over on top of that push rod because I bent it. I just put a little snick there, a little snick there, so I can see where it is, and then one there, so I know left and right what I want. And then here, same story. So we'll cut there, we'll cut there, we'll cut there. And then I just go through super fast. But you may not want to do it this way. I've been doing this for a lot of airplanes. And remember, be careful when you punch this out that you don't tear the plastic on the other side. You just want this to be a clean cut. If you have to go to the other side to finish it, no harm, no foul. Go for it. Okay, this one. There, I can feel it. So, all right, can you see it though? Cut it. And 1/4 inch. And here. Oops. Oops, not quite all the way through. See, I punched it, it's not quite right. Ah, look at that, see? Didn't quite go all the way through. So instead of wrestling with it, if I kept pulling on this, I'd probably tear this plastic, and that would weaken things a little bit. It wouldn't be in the world. We don't want that. There it goes, comes out. And now we can add the other stab. And it slides back. Perfect. All right. We are very close to having an airplane, folks. This is quite exciting. All right.